Welcome to the show, everybody. Hopefully, everybody had a nice Valentine's Day, which was yesterday. Um, Mine's okay. Oh, Yeller made steak and uh, but steak, baked potato salad, and I got flowers for the first time. Oh my gosh, why am I here? Oh, that's the green screen. I've never gotten flowers for ever. I think I've ever gotten flowers for Valentine's Day. So that was it. Anywho, tonight we're going to be talking about we got an update on the St. Louis bar. We're going to be talking about Yolanda Salvador. We got some stuff going on with a former president and a man who drugged his wife. So we're going to get things started with the update from the bar. If I can find the video, just give me a second here.
A Texas man
Just like I said, whenever
And the Bar PM saga continues. I'll do a brief recap if you're not familiar. December 18th, a rookie police officer is driving in his cruiser at 1 a.m. when he suddenly hooks a left turn into the front of a business, Bar PM, a gay bar in St. Louis. When the owners are like, what the hell happened? They claim he said, I swerved to miss a dog, but there's video showing that there was no dog. And then he said, I swerved to miss a parked car, but that didn't really make a lot of sense either. And despite the fact that they had done nothing wrong other than just having their building in his way, I guess, other officers who arrived on scene demanded their IDs. When they were like, we don't have to give you that, they ended up roughing up and arresting one of the owners, claiming that he assaulted them and charging him with felony assault. That's been dropped down to misdemeanor, but still. And then on top of that, they got a notice on the 19th that if they didn't fix these issues, the building could be condemned and they could be fined. They also live above the bar, so it would have been also losing their home as well as their business. The city has since walked that back and been like, no, you're not in trouble. But then there's this new development. The chief of police recently had said that they made a mistake, like the police made a mistake. And you're like, okay, I appreciate that. It's about time we're starting to hear something. I mean, they didn't do anything wrong. The police just wrecked in the building, and they didn't handle it the best. Good to hear that. He said, I feel bad, and I'm sorry for their establishment, that it got hit. And then he also said it's an ongoing investigation, so he can't say a lot. But the officer has already admitted to some things. He could go out on a limb and say the investigation wasn't going to result in finding of no fault. So in other words, he was at fault, which makes sense. How else does he just run into a building? They made a mistake, and just because they made a mistake, it doesn't mean we don't hold them accountable. Okay, you're talking about the police, right? The thing is, after this article came out, the chief sat down for a one-on-one with a news reporter, and they talked about a lot of stuff. It's like his first year as chief, so they're talking about crime rates and all this other stuff. This topic came up, and a question that a lot of people, including myself, have had is why wasn't the officer given a field sobriety test? Swerved for no apparent reason and smashed in this building. He had blown through a red light a couple blocks back. That's also on camera. So why no field sobriety test when a lot of departments, that's protocol if an officer is involved in an accident? And to that, he said this.
Why weren't the officers given sobriety tests?
Right. These officers, if this accident happened
down the street and didn't happen at an LGBTQIA plus bar, which drew some attention because there was an arrest afterwards. No one will be calling for a toxicology test or a drug test or an alcohol test on our officers.
Really?
No, I don't think so.
I'm sorry. Did you just, if a tree falls in the woods and there's no one there to see it, does it even make a sound to this situation? If you crash into an empty building, would anybody care? Would they be asking for a field sobriety test? Probably not. They probably wouldn't know it had happened. But people did know this happened. They saw it happen. They saw your officer just swerve off the road in the front of a building. And then other officers respond and start acting like other people had done something wrong and arrest people and rough them up. And now people are going, well, what are you trying to cover up? Did you check if he was sober or not? And you're like, hey, wait a minute. If I had crashed in the front of a building at 1 a.m, I guarantee you I'd be asked, do you have anything to drink tonight, sir? Did you partake in anything? And I would almost certainly be given a field sobriety test to prove that I wasn't inebriated. I don't understand why that didn't happen here. You went on to say, oh, well, my officers have been involved in several accidents this year, and people weren't asking if they had been given that test in those accidents. Not all car accidents are created equal. If you have an officer sitting at a stop sign and someone rear ends them, I'm not going, check if that cop's had something to drink. No, this is a guy driving into a building. It makes you wonder. In a lot of places, if an officer is involved in any kind of an accident, they are tested to see if they are under the influence of anything. If for no other reason than like insurance reasons. You say it's not policy there. Okay. She said maybe it should be. And your response was like, well, we test the cops, then we got to test anybody who works for the city. Why are you looking for exit doors? Why are you looking for anything other than saying, man, maybe something we should consider? Maybe something we should look into. This passing the buck by your department in all it just looks awful. It just makes you all look bad. You're either inept or you're being shady. And neither one of those are good.
I'm having a senior moment. I was muted. So, like I was saying, these police chief in St. Louis needs to be fired and removed from his position. The fact that he feel like if no knows that something has happened and his officers do something wrong, that they shouldn't get drug tested or have a sobriety test done on them. I find it quite weird and strange to hear. And I feel like even if people don't know about it, you still hold your officers responsible for what they did, for their actions. And I don't know, overall just idiots. That the officers are idiot and what they're doing to these bar owners I find to be pretty what's the word I'm trying to think of? I don't even know what words to say. It's just ridiculous how they're treating the owners of the bar. So to keep things going, we are going to talk about Yolanda Salvador. If you don't know her or not familiar with her, she is the woman who killed Selena, the singer Selena, back in 1995, I believe. She was convicted of her murder, and let's just have somebody else explain what she's got going on.
What is Yolanda talking about? It's time to set the record straight. The record's not scratched. The record's not skipping on my turntables. The record is Selena Quintanilla is gone and it's all your fault, Miss Yolanda. Also, do you know that you have unified the entire human race in not liking you? We're talking the whites, the blacks, the Latinoamericanos, Hispanos, Asian Pacific Islanders, the LGBTQ plus IA. I apologize, I'm an ally, but there's a lot of letters in that. Everyone does not like you. Do you know just today, my far-right Republican neighbor who proudly shows his Trump flag went to my very far-left Democratic neighbor who proudly shows his Biden flag, and they were both talking about what Yolanda said about setting the record straight. And the Republican neighbor offered the Democratic neighbor, hey, when the time comes, I can fit 6 people in my diesel truck. I'll save you a spot. They don't get along, but you now have full bipartisan support en partiéndote la madre. You know if you can unify politics, you know you fucked up. You fucked up. If you made it this far into the video, comment down anything for Selenas so I know that you watched to the very end.
Anything for Selenas. Yeah, but the fact that she wanted to set the record straight, I agree with the guy. Like, lady, you were on one in a room with her, you pulled the trigger, you're the reason why this hugely famous person isn't here. So what is it for you to set the record straight about you murdering somebody in cold blood? And the fact that you had united people on top of that is it's a bit crazy. That you, like he said, you can everybody in the world is against you, Yolanda. So whatever it is that you're trying to do or trying to set the record straight or trying to prove, just let it go. You know, we don't want you out of jail. Don't try to get out of jail because, you know, you get out of jail, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of unhappy people and you're not gonna be able to walk the streets safe. Um I had nothing. If something happened to her, I have nothing to do with that. I don't even live nowhere near where that woman would probably go. But with that being said, we have an update on Donald J. Trump and his mess. So here we go.
Well, folks, we now have a caucus and a primary squarely behind us. And with only one actual opponent still in the race as of today, Nikki Haley, Donald Trump has effectively become the guy on the Republican side, which of course means that he's going to be getting the spotlight a lot more than he is, and that's not good for the Republican Party. I'll get more into that in just a moment. But first I want to talk about the polls, because we've still got polls out there showing that, oh God, Donald Trump is going to beat President Biden. If the election were held today, President Trump beats President Biden. I still call BS on that. Because here's the thing that people aren't actually doing. You see these headlines, the poll shows Trump beats Biden. Poll shows Trump beats him here, beats him in this state. No. Once you start digging into the data, once you actually start breaking it down, you realize that it seems like an almost impossibility for Donald Trump to have a shot at winning in this year's election. And because of that, I will say right now, and maybe I'll be wrong, but I do not think that as of this moment, Donald Trump has a realistic path to winning the Electoral College this year. And it all comes down to one thing: independent voters. President Biden has a double-digit lead among Donald Trump among registered independents. In fact, President Biden has more than half of registered independents supporting him right now. That alone, just that number, tells you Trump's not cruising away with this thing. He's not going to win in a landslide. You can't win if you don't win with independents. Now add into that another piece of information here. 43% of Nikki Haley supporters said they would back President Biden over Trump. So even if we were dead tied with independent voters, if 43% of the people who currently support Nikki Haley nationwide voted for Biden instead of Trump, the election's over. Biden wins in a landslide. Even if it's only 3-4%, state to state, that's still enough to put Biden well over the top. Add into that the possibility of a conviction in which 1/3 of Trump supporters say they will not vote for him. And these are all things that could likely happen this year. But here's another one. Look beyond the polls. Look at history. What has happened every time Donald Trump becomes more visible? This goes back to how I started, remember? Talking about Trump's the guy. He's doing more events. He's in the headlines more. And what happens every time Donald Trump is dominating the headlines? People like him less. He is simply not popular. So the more Trump goes out there, the worse he does. the more people dislike him. The more he says stupid things, mean things, horrible things, incoherent things. And his support falls the more he does it. And the irony here, of course, is that we've got Republicans out there saying everybody's got to coalesce around Trump right now. Ben Shapiro came out this week and said it. We have to coalesce around Trump. You realize that that's the dumbest thing your party could do? I mean, I hope you do it. But by saying everybody has to coalesce and unify around this polarizing figure right now only gives the Democrats, who've got way more money than Republicans, the opportunity to attack Donald Trump longer. It gives Trump more opportunities to go out there and make his mental mistakes. People will like him less if there's not somebody to take a little bit of the attention off him. So they better hope that Nikki Haley stays in the race for a lot longer and takes up some of the media attention. Because once it's all hyper-focused on Donald Trump, on top of all these bad poll numbers, this...
So I 100% agree with this guy about what Donald Trump has no chance of winning this election. Like you see, you gotta have half the independents vote to win this election. If the data is right about what Nikki Haley's people saying that Trump was running for office, they will vote for Joe Biden. I just don't see an end game to wherever this is going with Donald Trump, and the simple fact that he just lost. Well, I should say he did lose the defamation case where he has to pay. I forgot what the amount was. I believe it was like some $80 million, $80 some million in the defamation case that he just lost on top of that. Yeah, I don't see a way out of this for Donald Trump. You're not going to win the presidential election. More than likely, you're going to be convicted by the time the presidential election come around. And this is why he tried to ask the Supreme Court to delay the trial for his crap. What's the trial is for? Oh,
With the treason stuff?
yeah, I believe so. Yeah, the treason stuff and election interference. So yeah, he thinks he's going to get away. That's why he wanted these trials to be delayed. But the thing about it is, you're pretty much going to be convicted of these trials. Everybody know you're not going to get off with it. With the American people looking at that, if they let Trump get off with these crimes or whatever, that just show that no matter what Americans vote or no matter what happens, the Supreme Court is always going to rule in favor of whoever their favorite president is or whoever got them elected into who put them in that position.
Yeah, I don't see how he can wiggle his way out of treason. I don't. Like, I feel like if he gets away with all of those things, with a slap on the hand or just unscathed, like, I feel like it's going to be a really big uproar, like a rebellion against the government, I should say. And I'm not trying to incite violence, but, Constitution, you can't pick and choose what you want to follow in the Constitution.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just not fair. And especially for acts of treason, they were put into law for, I feel like, a very good reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't feel like he's nobody special to try to, you know what I'm saying, bend the rules for. He's not, and it just kind of boils down to just the safety of this country. Because if he's gonna do that, it's like, what else is he gonna do in a second term?
Right.
What? What was that?
We just gonna call that a glitch.
Oh, okay. Hey everybody! Hey! Sorry, I'm late to the party. Have some things going on.
I figured that. So Oh my god! So there was supposed to be this story on chaplains in high schools, and I'm trying to get the story for. But in the meantime, we are going to discuss a man who drugged his wife. So here we go.
A Texas man was just sentenced to just 180 days in jail for secretly drugging his wife's drinks in an attempt to abort their baby. And spoiler alert, the baby was still later born alive, but has considerable medical issues because of this. 39-year-old piece of Mason Herring pleaded guilty on Wednesday to injury of a child and assault of a pregnant person. This is a change from the initial charge of felony assault to induce abortion, a charge I actually didn't know even existed until this story. Wife Catherine Herring, who also filed for divorce, let the court know she doesn't believe the sentence is long enough, going on to say that the now 1-year-old third-born child was born 10 weeks premature, has developmental delays, and has therapy 8 times a week. According to Catherine, her husband in March of 2022 began pushing her to hydrate and offering her water. She said she became severely ill after drinking the cloudy drink, but her husband said it was probably a cup or pipes being dirty that caused it. She became suspicious and began refusing to take other drinks he made for her. Later, she found in the trash packaging for the abortion-inducing drug misoprostol. She also managed somehow to capture video footage of him making the drinks and supplied that to authorities, which were ultimately used in the case to get the guilty plea.
Oh wow, he really called him a POS, man. That's just terrible. I have like I have no words for that. That's terrible. Like your wife, bro. Like what? Like
Did you not want the
man,
child that bad?
I can't hear you.
I said I don't know if
Can't hear
he
you.
did not want the child that bad.
Can't hear you. Oh my God.
Oh,
We can't hear you. You sound very low. You were fine before the video.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. You know, I ain't got
I
time
have
for
no idea
Tina
what you're saying.
and her old lady shenanigans that's going on right now.
Oh my goodness.
How about
Okay,
now?
I'm gonna leave and come back and see if it fixes it.
So I'm trying to add in another clip for you guys also at the same time. But I don't like that man. He just say like he just basically aborted he aborted his child without his wife's approval. And does he deserves a harsher jail time? I totally 100% agree. Maybe Tina can hear me now.
I can hear you now.
Merry
That was
Christmas.
weird. Okay, so like I was saying, men, like if you don't want kids, stop having sex unprotected. Find a woman that got her tubes tied. Find a woman that don't want no kids. Like discuss it with your spouse or your mate. Like, come on, it's so many other options out here other than drugging somebody that is actively pregnant. And then your child is still born. Now your child got to suffer because you were stupid. You
Right.
stupid.
You're right.
And
Your son gonna have all these birth defects because of you.
and I applaud her for standing up for her child.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Uh,
it sounds like the focus was more so, not even yeah, he was drugging her, but she sounds like she's more upset that harm came to the child because of his actions. And he
right.
needs to be thrown in jail for that. That is terrible. And it's like not only, the child has physical and developmental or cognitive issues, but just think about the emotional issues. Like when a child grows up, if he or she can grasp the concept of, yo, your father was drugging your mother to kill you, like, well, unalive, excuse me, sorry, you know, it
Mm-hmm.
it's just the ramifications of all of that. That's harsh. That's really harsh and stupid. Did I mention he was dumb?
I believe so. I believe you mentioned he was dumb.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But to keep things going, to move another group of lawmakers making dumb decisions, which is the title of this vehicle. I said vehicle. Lord have mercy. I'm so not having a
Woo,
good.
child. Woo, child.
Should chaplains be in public school? And I'm going to play the video for you. Then we're going to come back and discuss it.
So to be a school counselor in Texas, you have to have a master's degree. Does your bill require chaplains to have a master's degree?
No.
To be a school counselor in Texas, you have to teach in a classroom for 2 years. Does your bill require a chaplain to teach in a classroom for 2 years?
No, sir.
Does your bill specify any qualifications for chaplains serving in our schools?
I don't think there's any specific qualifications.
Does your bill define what a chaplain is?
I believe it does. Does the bill? I'm looking at it. I mean, it's chaplains are defined in many areas of our government.
Representative Hefner, are you aware that there are internet services that will ordain a chaplain with just 40 hours of online training?
I'm not advised.
I offered an amendment to the original bill to require these school chaplains to respect the free exercise of religion, and you refused to accept that amendment. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I offered an amendment to require parental consent before children can meet with a chaplain, and you refused to accept that amendment. Is that correct?
I don't recall all the details of that day.
Okay.
It's been a few days.
So
late nights.
we've discussed the National School Chaplain Association. Do you remember that conversation?
I do not remember. I don't recall.
The National School Chaplain Association testified in favor of the bill both in the House and the Senate. Have they helped you with this bill at all?
I don't recall. I had input from a lot of different people.
Are you aware that the stated purpose of this organization is to, quote, enhance God's presence by infiltrating the system?
I'm not advised.
Do you know Rocky Malloy? He's their CEO, testified in favor of the bill in the House and the Senate.
I've met Rocky.
Has he worked on this bill at all?
They provided some input.
So are you aware that Rocky Malloy has said chaplains are not professional counselors, children don't need professional counseling, they just need to be heard?
I'm not familiar with that.
He said he has a phone app that gives instructions on how to pray with students who are suicidal. Do you believe that the answer to kids who are suicidal is for them to pray and not get professional mental health counseling?
That has nothing to do with this bill.
Rocky Malloy has stated he wants chaplains going into teachers' classrooms and reviewing every single book available to students. Do you, as the bill author, want chaplains censoring or banning books
No.
in libraries or classrooms? No. Are you familiar that Rocky Malloy describes himself as a former drug smuggling pirate saved by divine intervention?
I'm not aware.
And he's admitted to being convicted of international drug trafficking?
I'm not advised.
The gentleman's time has expired.
International drug trafficking? What?
I heard that part was like, and this man is
Oh my
trying
God,
to
I can't
put.
hear you again.
You know what? I'm getting tired of you today.
I'm gonna leave and come back.
So this man has the audacity to want to put chaplains in public school. He believes that these people should be in public schools. This man has nerves to help write the bill. He helped write the bill. I don't think this lawmaker who presented this bill to the floor actually wrote the bill himself. I think whoever this Ricky person is, who used to be a former drug trafficker, was the one who wrote this bill. Because I just can't see it no other way. There's just no other way. And the fact that if this supposed lawmaker wrote the bill and wasn't being asked the bill, why doesn't he know what's in his own bill? He didn't do research behind this organization that was backing his bill, obviously. So it's almost like why are you even in office if you're not even doing the proper research into these bills that you're trying to pass or organizations that you're pairing up with to work with. You didn't do no research at all, and you let somebody else do the work for you. That's exactly what happened with this lawmaker trying to pass this bill. And the fact that the person that helped him write this bill or gave input about this bill felt that kids should not have to have their parents' permission to go speak with the chaplain, or you don't think that people should have the freedom also. So it's why would you even want to pair yourself with a person like that, knowing that they're going to make you look stupid? And that's exactly what that lawmaker did.
He ate him up. Real talk. He got ate up. He got super. He just dumb. That's another one. Stupid. That is
just
wild.
just a pawn, because that right there just shows you that there is somebody else always pulling strings when it comes to these bills. Like, these lawmakers are coming up with these bills. These are people with money who got the pull or know a lawmaker, or if I help you give you the money you need to get into office and get the votes, I need you to get this passed for me. And these are people are writing the bills for the lawmakers.
So religion was taken out of public school for a reason, right? Because it was once upon a time all schools had some type of like religion going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm not against religion in schools, but there are private schools, and if I'm not mistaken, there is a lot of funding for children or families who cannot afford the tuition to send their kids to a private school now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot of, here we go again, there's a lot of options for people other than this, and like nobody in their right mind would vote for this bill because you can't even defend it properly. Like, you got ate
He
up. You don't
he don't know
know, you don't know
he
nothing
don't know what's
about
in
what's
his own
going
bill.
on. That's what I'm saying. You don't know nothing about what's going on. Now you done got up in front of all these people against this young man and just let him just eat you up like that. And that's embarrassing. And anybody that vote in favor of that bill is stupid too. Because what? You can't even explain to me what it all entails. Like what? He had
Mm-hmm.
absolutely no selling points. He had absolutely no enthusiasm in that debate. He was being flat out asked very straightforward and precise questions, and he couldn't even BS his way out of it. He just froze up.
Right. Right. And then the thing about him his time, like, do you remember the conversation we had? Do you remember the conversation about this? He didn't remember not one conversation
He was
that
lying.
he had. Like, really?
He's lying. He's lying.
I just I
That
just
young
can't
that young man
this
came at him like a lawyer. Like he was
mm-hmm.
he straight sounded like an attorney. He went for his throat, and I don't blame him because we need more of that, right? So what these
Mm-hmm.
bills, these cockamamie bills that people are trying to put into effect, we need more of him up there at that podium giving it to these people. I need you to explain why. Oh, you don't remember? Okay, well, do you remember this? Oh, okay. So you don't remember on September da 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 and blah blah blah. We had this conversation about do 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 do. Oh, you don't remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, call them out on their BS. You know what I'm saying? Bring it to the
Right.
forefront.
Oh shit.
Oh,
So
hey, oh man, theater. What do Martell got going on today?
I don't know. I'm just clicking in. I'm listening to it. I ain't commenting on what y'all talking about because I don't know directly where y'all at on this. I'm trying to cheat on a CPR test.
I was
What
having
is going
technical
on,
difficulties.
Martell? See,
Alabama
and you
Church.
know what? Every time you go to the blue screen, because usually you leave us in the background, but every time you go to where we disappear off of the screen when you playing the videos, I think that's what's causing my audio issues.
Oh, I
He
didn't
Because
know
you
playing
be
that.
fine
video?
before the video. Yeah.
Sick motherfucker.
Well,
What?
in that situation, I ain't got time for
Piece
him
of
and
shit.
his old man shenanigans. But I want to discuss because I wanted to discuss this last week, and while we got some time left, and then for that way I ain't got to worry about going overtime with this discussion. I want to talk about bill splitting, and I'm going to play the clip for you of this group of people arguing over a bill, and then we're going to discuss it.
I'm only paying for what's on the check. I'm not splitting the bill, shawty. That's crazy. You expect us to split the bill? You got lamb chop. You got steak. You got some other. Look at all that. Look at what all they got. And they talking about splitting the bill. What did you come out for? We come together. I'm again. My thing is, y'all doing too much. Y'all doing way too much. We didn't order all that. But when I'm
Now, Martell, where you find this group of people at? First of all, it's
Well, you
oh
know
my
what,
goodness.
Tina, not to cut you off. I've been in that predicament. You have people that comes where you be at, and you be then invite. Prime example, I invited my pastor, which my cousin, to dinner one evening. About 5 more other people showed up, so I wound up with a $400 or $500 bill at the end of the day. I was pissed. Some people
Oh
just, I
yeah, that's
mean,
not no. Mm-mm.
and that seemed like that's what type of party that was. Everybody wants to come in and start ordering stuff. You only got enough for a hamburger, but you order steak.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the bill comes, everybody digging in their pockets. Most of you digging for $2 or $3, want to throw it up on the table and expect somebody else to pay the bill. If that's what the situation was, because that's what it seemed like it is. The one guy, come on, I didn't order this shit. This and that, this, and yeah, I feel
Yeah, because
So
there was another.
anybody that think when they go out to eat, if you were not specifically asked to come out to eat with the acknowledgement that somebody else was going to be paying for your bill, you're stupid. Don't show up in nobody's establishment thinking that you got $10 and you're supposed to eat some fucking lobster and steak. Like that's stupid. And I will leave you there. Don't you ever try to play with me like that.
Mm-hmm.
Ever.
There was a previous another video that popped up online because this has been a continuous thing that's been circling around social media, where a guy took out like his I guess they work at like a radio station. They work together, and he took out his coworker for her birthday out for dinner, and some other people came, whatever, and the guy's wife was there. So as when the bill came, he said, "I'm paying for my wife and her and my food. Everybody else got to pay for their own food." And then the girls, all the other people, he was the only male there, and they had the audacity to tell him, "Well, since you the only male pay for the bill, which was like $800 and something dollars, if not more, that he should flip the bill because he's the only male there." Then his wife chimed in and was like, "Well, when y'all get a husband, you can have your husband do that, but my husband is not gonna pay for y'all food." And they tried to come on, started cussing out the wife and said like, "Oh, you ain't no." When you go out to eat, it ain't. I don't want to. I don't. We ain't doing that split the bill stuff because once again, you probably ordered about $200 worth of stuff. I probably ordered about $50 worth of stuff, and now you expect to split the bill. No, you gonna pay for what you ordered.
that.
I don't go to places with people that are broke.
That
Well,
too.
I
half
don't.
the
I don't
time
go.
you
I don't
don't
go on
know.
trips. No,
Half
no.
the time
Mm-mm.
you don't really know until you get there. I mean, it was a fucked up moment for me, and I was so pissed. I
No.
was really
Oh man,
really
theater.
really.
You know which one of your friends got money and don't got money.
And
You don't
the
take your
thing
broke
about it
friend to
is
an expensive
the,
restaurant.
the thing. Wait a minute. Let me correct you on something. The thing about it is, I don't have friends. If you that close to me, you're family. Bottom line, I don't have friends. I have associates.
Well, well, you know which one of your family
I,
members can't
you,
can afford
you know what?
Applebee's and which ones can
It,
afford a 5 o'clock steakhouse.
and the thing about it is, wasn't none of these that type of flavor. They came on the end of after church. Some of these church folks,
Uh, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
we'll meet y'all there, this and that, and whatever. How you could special occasion. I'm gonna tell you what it was. It was my second marriage, which was a big mistake. But that shit, I ain't talking about the last one, but that one was too. But anyway, yeah, I wound up footing the bill. I was so pissed. Well, we can get your money back. I ain't saw that money yet. I ain't saw the people.
Or I don't like the people where you tell them that like, oh, we go out to eat, I pick up your, I pay for your food or whatever, and they get order more stuff that they would order than if they would have paying for their own food. Like, don't do that. Like, that if you was coming by yourself and buy your food, you wouldn't be ordering times more than what you got on in front of you right now. You just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't. I don't have a habit of. I'm sorry. That situation that you had with the church people. When I sit down, for one, I be like if I go somewhere with my kids, right? Like when we go to hibachi. Okay, him, and him is on my check before I even order. Before I even order.
Mm-hmm.
If I go somewhere where they not where they do the whole we don't split the bill thing, like the actual restaurant don't, then I'm not going with you if I know you ain't got no money. So one of us is gonna put the money on our card and I'm gonna cash app you, Venmo you, Zelle you, whatever have. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that to
Mm-hmm.
people. I do not go nowhere with somebody that is not gonna be able to pay for their dinner. Period. I don't. I don't.
Exactly.
I just don't. I just don't engage in those type of activities. Don't go out of town with me, bro. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I can't.
Well,
That's a
I,
big no
Cause
no.
you just ain't you gonna be stuck. I'm not paying for you to eat nothing. I'm not paying for you a way back. If you can't split your give me your half on wherever we staying at, you ain't coming. I don't care if you got a plane ticket or not.
Mm-hmm.
well,
You're not
I,
gonna stay with me. You gonna have to find some other place to stay.
I honestly think that's why they don't belong to the same congregation no more because I'm not gonna say it would have been a hit out on them or nothing like that, but my cousin slash pastor know that as T.I. son say, I stand on business. So yeah, it was what it was. I was played, but it was what it was.
Yeah, like I used to tell people, like when I was in Miami, no matter where I went to eat, there was that 18% gratuity everywhere that
Yeah.
I went to eat. No matter where no matter it don't matter what time of the day it is, they always say, "Oh, you don't have to pay a tip because the tip is already included with your." Which I kind of like that, but I feel like here in America, tipping has gone a little bit overboard when it comes to tipping because some of these people, you go in there and spend $15 when they want you to tip $35 for your meal. I'm just saying the tipping has gone a little bit overboard. But then I hate going out with people. We go to certain restaurants, and I feel like it's so embarrassing when you go out with somebody and you had gotten good service and everything, and you steady sending them back and forth. Oh, my plate missing this. Oh, I wanted this, or they didn't make this right. Can you send this back? Can you warm this up? When you asking a lot of demands and stuff, and then you have the nerves to turn around and not tip. Like, I can't stand going out with people like that. That shit pisses me off a lot when people do that.
Right. I agree with that. I agree with everything you just said. And again, I'm standing on business. Don't come out with me if you broke. Even if I get asked out on a date, like for instance, I went to a dinner for my birthday, right? I did not expect, nor was, I was not there was no expectation for me that when I went out, somebody was gonna pay for my birthday dinner. I ordered what I knew that I wanted to pay for. You know what I'm saying? So, and
Mhm.
then when it came down to the check, you know what I'm saying, they wouldn't let me touch it. Great. Fantastic. Thank you so much for the birthday dinner. But at the same time, I'm not gonna feel some type of way if I went out with to a dinner with my friends for my birthday and I don't expect for nobody to pay my bill. If I went on a date, like a romantic date with a guy, when I get there, I'm gonna order what I know that I can pay for. Like I'm
Mm.
not gonna sit up there and put those expectations on somebody because don't nobody have to do anything for you. And I don't know why people got it in their head that oh, if somebody asks me out to do this, they gotta foot the bill. Oh, if we in this type of no, absolutely not. It's up to them if they feel like they want to do something for you or not, and their generosity. Don't push that upon them. I can't stand it when people try to count the money in my pockets. I don't play about my money or my kids. I'm sorry. Don't do that. That's the
What,
quickest way
what,
for you to get cussed out and embarrassed.
Tina, I got one thing to say on that note. Now, if you was invited out to dinner, I feel like, and then too, even if you're going out to dinner on a date with a guy that you probably won't be intimate or like that with, I feel like this, being the person that I am, a real man, a gentleman, or whatever, not this cheap piece of shit that's over yonder, but that would actually foot the bill for you. You know what I'm saying?
And I get what you're
And,
saying, but
and that's
my
being real.
expectation, that is not my expectation.
I know that. I'm not saying that it is, but I'm just saying me myself being real or whatever have you. Why should I hang out with you or we go somewhere like that, regardless to what you would feel or think or whatever have you? If we out here kicking it or whatever have you, and we close like that or whatever have you, because there may be a time may come along. You, hey, Theo, come on, let's go hang out, let's go do this, let's go do that, or whatever have you. I may not have the funds, but that's neither said or done. But I just feel like this. Unless it's one of them retarded motherfuckers, I just feel like this. A person should, if it's a male hanging with a female, if y'all going out to hang out and chill, kick it, and talk or whatever have you, whatever y'all going to do, I feel like a real man would still step up and instead of saying, oh, really to be truthful about it. If I didn't have the funds, I'd rather not go if I couldn't fit it for both of us. That's
And
me.
I understand that. So like if I ask Martell, hey buddy,
You
friend
know he a
time, let's
tea
go
bag.
hibachi, right? You know
He
what I'm
poor.
saying? If I ask him, hey buddy, let's go out have hibachi, he'd be like, well, it's not really in my budget. I would rather you say that, and I'll be like, don't worry about it, it's on me. You know what I'm saying? So to me,
I
that's
get
something
that
totally
part, but
different. Be
you know
be
that bastard
upfront
gonna say
and
that anyway,
honest.
but he gonna still go. He poor.
So
That's
no,
all he gonna
when
say.
we no, so when we go somewhere, that's what I'm saying. Like I
I
like
hear
to
you.
be
I hear
around
you.
people and friends. Okay, I got the first round of drinks, and then they get the first round of drinks. I ain't even gotta ask. You know what I'm saying? Because we
Right.
out having
Right.
fun. Like those are the type of people I like to be around. I don't like to be around people that think that we gonna go somewhere and you ain't gonna pay for nothing just because. Like that's not how it goes. Don't show up if you not grown enough to take care of yourself because it's giving
Right.
me little kid energy.
I know when I showed up for her birthday, sir, I went to the bar and bought 5 shots. I
He
ain't even know
bought
the other
shots. So
people.
that's what I'm saying. He showed up and he bought shots for everybody that was there. He did not have to do
Oh,
that. And it
well,
wasn't no rail liquor.
I need a
You know
loan.
what I'm
That
saying?
cheap
He
poor
bought
bastard.
as soon as we walked in the door, I was like, where did he go? You know what I'm saying? And he came back with shots for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Cheap bastard.
Like but that's the type of energy I like. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's what I'm saying in a nutshell. Far as just going to dinner or something like that. I'm just saying people just need to be real and I mean It, be real or just don't come outside. That's all
If
I'm
I
saying.
if I went on a date with a guy and he didn't pay my bill, baby, don't worry because I always got me.
Oh,
I got money.
Tina, I hear all that, but I don't know if you understand the point that I'm just saying me being
I
me.
I
And I
so
feel like this
Him
a
being from
man,
the
period.
boomer age.
so
Shut the hell
no,
up.
I understand. So I understand 100% completely what you're saying. But so going back to the video, right? Women sometimes will take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? Now they sat down. He like, you got lamb chops, blah 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 blah. He probably only had like a burger or some chicken tenders or this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? She want to eat lavishly. Well, then you better have that lavish money in your pocket. If it was not agreed upon, you know what I'm saying, and it looked like it was a group of people, right?
Hmm.
So to me, that's what the issue is. Don't come out somewhere as a group of people and think that because it's a male there that the men are going to split the bill for the women. I've heard stories about when women have went on dates and they brought their friend, or if they're out and the guy buys a drink for one, the other one expects to drink two just because they there together. That ain't the way that go. That is not the way that go.
And it
That is
was
not.
another
Well, it depends
video.
on if we're gonna wind up in the same room afterwards.
You know
That's
what?
all I'm
A-
saying.
And it was
That's
another
all I'm
group of
saying.
people. So the guy, he said he got up and he left the table and he went and paid for his food at the whatever. So they brought the check to the table. His food, what he ordered, wasn't on the bill, and yet these group of people with the girls that was there was still trying to argue that, hey, we all should still split the bill, even though he's like, no. He said, I think their bill came out to like $1,200 and some dollars. He was like, they was ordering like lamb chops, like stuff that's on the menu that costs like $150 some dollars for the plate or whatever. That's what these girls is doing. So he got a kindly went up, paid for his own food, said, well, y'all figure that out.
Well, you know what?
And he should.
A lot of people creep in, walk in. I mean, just like I said with my incident. Yeah, they showed up. I'm not. I mean, sometimes you never think about people doing you like that
Mm-hmm.
until everything rolls out, and it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's a
you're
no for
right.
me, dog.
Like I said,
It's a no for me, dog.
I'm a firm believer in whatever you ordered, you pay for it.
Yep,
Unless I
yep.
sat down at this table and say, hey, this round of drinks is on me, or hey, this appetizer is on me, or hey, I bought this share appetizer for the table. Unless I said something like that, you are paying for your own stuff. So,
I agree.
um, to keep things moving. Where I don't know what part of the show that I'm in right now, y'all. I lost track.
Well, you made this seem like this was the last segment.
No, it isn't. I just want to make oh shit. I just want to make sure that I didn't go over far as time, so that I knew that was a discussion. Make sure that we went over. But I want to play this video. We're going to discuss it. Here we go.
Just like I said, whenever white people do something, it does not get the kind of coverage as when immigrants do something. Because these two white boys stole a car, have a bunch of stolen guns on them, are allegedly traveling to Texas to unalive preschoolers, and they are still very much on the run. And if you Google this situation, there are maybe 5 news reports in total about the fact that 2 white boys are traveling across country to unalive people. Again, you got 2 white boys with a stolen vehicle, guns, aiming to unalive people, and everybody else in the news is all like, alright, cool. Meanwhile, one migrant teenager shoots at police officers, which he shouldn't have done that, and now he represents all 8 million undocumented people in this country. His story was national news and is being used as a way to prove that you need tougher immigration laws or more agents at the border. Again, one immigrant does anything anywhere and we all have to pay for it. But two white boys are on their way to Texas to commit a mass unaliving, and this isn't national news. This isn't every cop in the country needs to be on the lookout. Again, people are just like, whatever happens with this. And look, of course, every community has their knuckleheads, their people who do stupid things. But the difference is that whenever a person of color does something dumb, we all have to answer for it. But whenever white people do something dumb, it's, those two white kids. They don't represent all of us. That's that white privilege right there. They get to be part of a group when it's convenient, but no, we're all individuals. Their actions doesn't speak for me. I wish we could all have that same kind of privilege extended to us.
Cousin Montrez.
Let that have been an Afro-American, I swear to God, that our face would have been plastered on every billboard, news outlet, media website. Our faces would be everywhere if one of our teen people stole a car with a bunch of guns to drive across the country to go unalive some preschoolers. I swear our picture would be every single where. You wouldn't even be able to turn the quarter. You wouldn't be able to turn on your TV. Hell, you probably wouldn't even be able to turn on the screen of your car without them showing a picture of them, of you going to go to unalive some people. They would have been able to found us, hunted us down, or killed us already. I'm just saying.
Listen, I believe in capital punishment and discipline on site.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's these kids' parents at?
That's what I want to know. Where is these kids' parents at?
They probably
Who's
part
raising
of
these
it.
kids?
They probably a part of it, like that asshole that bought their kid a gun or whatever.
yeah.
You know, it's some stupid people out here. There's some stupid people out here. With the parents probably right along with them, but they, oh no, we had no idea. Yeah, whatever.
Right. So this next segment of the story brings me into how far a certain group of people go to protect an orange person.
We need border security yesterday. Right, but you killed the bill. Yeah, because we want to be able to say that at least until November. Look, let's talk the big issue. Biden's documents. Yes, it's not good. Let's both say on 3, any president should be punished for storing top secret documents. Okay. 1, 2, 3, any president should be punished for storing yeah, I thought so. Look, the real issue is Biden's memory. Yeah, he doesn't even remember Speaker of the House Nikki Haley. So look, if the Supreme Court puts Trump back on the ballot, they are the highest court in the land. And if they say Trump's not immune to prosecution, they are the highest court in the land. And the 14th Amendment applies to officers, which does not include the president. A job that starts when you take the oath of office. Right. Look, it was about Confederates in the Civil War. Okay, so amendments need to be put in the context of the time they were written. Exactly. So a well-regulated militia means pretty much anything. Right. Look, Colorado can't just take him off the ballot. Do you want one state deciding the whole election? Asked Bush v. Gore. What? Nothing. And January 6th being shameful, criminal, and violent. Yeah, who said that? Chris Hayes on MSNBC? Trump's lawyer to the Supreme Court. Look, they're gonna make their own decisions on January 6th. That is an honorable group of unbiased individuals. Yeah, and Clarence Thomas. So last question. Kid Rock can tell everyone to boycott Bud Light because he is an American badass. But if Taylor Swift tells everyone to vote, it's because she and George Soros rigged the Super Bowl. Gotcha.
Why did y'all leave Taylor Swift alone? She not bothering nobody.
Yes,
leave that billionaire alone. Leave that billionaire alone.
Because I forgot to discuss the Super Bowl, but that man was right about everything in that video. Now back about the Super Bowl. Every time the Kansas City Chiefs made a successful play, they always put the camera on Taylor Swift after every single last successful play. There were so many other celebrities there that they could have put the camera on. There was only they spent 30 seconds showing some of the other celebrities there, and then after that, the whole rest of the night was just Taylor Swift. They even made a meme that Taylor Swift has been to more Super Bowls than the Dallas Cowboys since 1994. Okay, and then on top of that, On
She's
top of
a
that,
groupie.
they didn't have
Oh,
the nerve to let this girl on the field during the celebration. They raising up the trophy and all that kind of stuff. And then they gave more after they raised up the trophy and stuff. And then when the players walked down to the field and all that other kind of stuff, they didn't show Patrick Mahomes with his mama and stuff on the field and stuff like that, or any of the other players. They showed Taylor Swift and that Kelsey boy kissing for 45 minutes straight.
damn, that long?
It was 45 minutes straight. They was
What
kissing. They
the
showed it
fuck?
on TV.
What she do? Suck
Her
and
and
swallow
that
and
boy
spit him out
kissing
and
him.
held him? Exhale him? What the fuck?
Just about. Just about him. It was that. It's ridiculous. She's
You're so
banned
dramatic.
from going to football season.
That's all right. She can do all that. Meanwhile, Beyonce was plotting to take her crown. So
Yeah, that was something that I
I
heard
mean,
about. They wouldn't play Beyonce country music in some state.
because to
they
me,
do it now because they got attacked by the Beehive, the Bayhive.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not a fan of it, but
Oh,
because
I
to
like
me,
it.
it's like it,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
me, it sounds like another just a normal Beyonce song beat to it.
I don't know. That's just like Mariah Carey.
I don't know. She hasn't had to have an album since 2018, so I don't know what her new sound like. Hopefully, it's different from Caution. But I
I
do
like
feel kind
it.
of feel like uh I kind of feel like Beyonce was a little bogus of how she did her whole release because
Why?
I felt like she took away from Usher's moment from his halftime show
I do not.
because after somebody perform at the halftime show, that's when their songs and stuff get streamed a lot. It goes number one on the charts. It goes number one on iTunes and stuff like that. That did not happen for Usher because of Beyonce's release. It didn't happen. His album didn't reach number one. His songs didn't reach number one. Not supposed to happen after the Super Bowl because Beyonce decided to release her song, and they played the commercial and she released it right after his performance. I feel like she should have waited to the next day to
So,
do that, at least.
so Usher's album came out before the Super Bowl, a few
Yeah,
days before the Super
the
Bowl.
album came out before, but it's like I'm talking about like their older music. It's always like some of their classic hit songs that always top the top of the charts or it hits number one on iTunes. Like they're always like their music is like it's at the top of the
But I
iTunes
mean,
after the performance.
but I mean, he's been at the peak with those songs. All the songs he did, he was at the peak. Plus, he has to test for residency. Plus, he's gonna go on tour again, and he got married. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
but
see Usher complaining about it.
just let him have his. All she had to do is just let him have his moment.
He
He
had his
had his
moment when he
moment, and it
rushed
was great. It was
when he
great.
humped on.
It was
It
a
was
great show.
phenomenal.
He had his moment when he humped on Wheezy or whatever dude's name his wife,
Oh, you talking about
So,
Swiss Beats like Alicia
Alicia
Keys?
Keys.
so my
That was
thing is like, do
oh,
you know how many people were anticipating to see? A lot of people only watch the Super Bowl to see Usher. Like
They
that's
did.
it.
I was
That
one of them because I
that
had no interest in really watching the Super Bowl whatsoever.
so
Besides for the
he did a
halftime.
phenomenal. So it was phenomenal. Like nobody is downplaying what he did because of Beyonce.
Wait,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like the
we're not
opposite.
saying that.
I feel like
I'm not saying that the show
I
wasn't
feel like
good.
I feel like Beyonce's
he still
drop.
got promoted all the way through that. He got promoted all the way through that. That's all they were talking about is Usher. He still
I
got
feel like
promoted all the way
I feel like I feel like Beyonce's drop when she planned to drop it hurt her more than it hurt him in my head because I was like, yeah, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just like I don't know, like
I
the
don't feel like
commercial
it
was
hurt.
bomb. I love the commercial.
The only thing that hurt her was that it was a country song, and a lot of people was fussy about it. Only thing that hurt her, but at the end of the day, Beyonce can get on a song and have a background and just say "hey" 45 times and release that song, and it would go platinum just because it's Beyonce.
It's a lot of artists like that. I don't
True.
understand why Taylor Swift is a billionaire. I can't tell you not one of her songs.
Because okay, so Taylor Swift is a billionaire because when she was coming out and popular, she still makes songs for teen girls. Like teen girls just love her. And now those teens, she got the teen market, and on top of having the teen market, those teens who are now adults are still supporting her and going to her shows. And the simple fact that she's now touring longer than Beyonce. Because right now Taylor's on like 100 and something show of her ever tour. She's still on tour after releasing the movie and everything of this show. People are still buying tickets to go see this tour after a
Yeah, I
whole
still
movie
can't
release
tell
and
you.
everything.
I still can't. I didn't even know what genre she was.
So she originally started as a country music artist, then she switched over to pop.
Yep, don't know that. Don't. I can't tell you. I cannot tell you not one of her songs. Not a one. None of them.
So unless you're like only, I feel like only black people who would know her music is what they call Swifties, unless they are a true Swifty. But outside of that, she has the country music market on lock, and then she has the pop music market kind of on lock. Because it's almost like when Taylor Swift drops something, it's almost all her albums is guaranteed to do well. No matter, it can be like she re-released, she went back and re-recorded one of her albums, and it's still, and did a whole re-release of it, and it was still a big deal because it's Taylor Swift.
She still ain't Michael Jackson.
She's not, no, she's not, but she has more awards than Michael currently, which is
I mean,
crazy.
so I mean, I love Usher's moment. Everything about his performance was spot on. I love how he brought up her. It was giving me Prince vibes, right?
This they said that this is the last black super black halftime show that we gonna get because Usher not only did he bring the Atlanta skate scene on, he brought the trap music with Little John, he brought on Jermaine Dupri, he had Ludacris, and on top of that, he was dancing around strippers. You'll never see another black you'll never see another black
But
Super Bowl
so
halftime show like that
it
again.
so
He made them
so
two
so
extra
I,
minutes at 13 minutes. They gave him
so
two more extra minutes.
Mm-hmm.
so his halftime show looked and mimicked his residency because I went to go see him and it
Mm-hmm.
was a phenomenal show. Now imagine him. He did that for like I think an hour and a half straight
Mm-hmm.
for his residency, right? It was all the way through. It wasn't no interludes. It wasn't no other people up there with him. With his songs, it was just all him the whole time. I think that's phenomenal, and there's a lot of people that went to go see Usher because they knew he was going to put on a great show, which is what gave him a lot of buzz because he had been silent for a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gave him a
That's
lot
what
of
I was just
buzz
gonna
coming
say.
off his residency, right? They added dates onto his residency because when I went, I was going to the second to last show and they extended his residency. So he's piggybacking off of that. And on top of that, he dropped the album, right? And then went into the Super Bowl. Like, and now he's gonna go on tour. Like, I don't feel like Beyonce putting out two country songs is really gonna dismantle what he's doing because she's doing it in a totally different genre that her core fans are not really used to listening to, right? So it's going to take a little bit of time for us to kind of get used to that, right? So I'm really interested to see how she's going to bridge that gap in between her pop and her country, right? I'm waiting to see how that's going to happen. And then, but Usher is something he more R&B, he can get a little popish, but he's been in the game for what 30 some years, right? We still sing songs off of his first album too. So he has, for me to be a solo male artist that's not a rapper, like he has an amazing amount of longevity.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
like I
saying?
wasn't saying
So
that her music was gonna stop what he was doing. It was just more of the chart thing,
and
like let
then
him have his
and
success on the chart.
but then and then people say that and I don't I I always wonder do people understand what's going behind the scenes? Why do you think Usher? You think Beyonce wouldn't have reached out to Usher and talked to him about that?
Probably not. I don't know.
You get what I'm saying? So
And we don't know.
he probably but that's what I'm saying. Like I don't see Beyonce doing it with malicious intent to outshine Usher. I don't see it. I see it as two great African American artists dominating the Super Bowl and capitalizing off of that with all those viewers. It was a great show of force to me because we had Usher, like you said, with the strippers and the skates. Bringing all of that, all of our culture to the stage because that's what he did. And then Beyonce was like, you know what? Hold on, we finna flip the script and show them we finna go into this genre too. So I feel like it was more a collaborative type of takeover more than pitting them against each other. That's my thought on that. And I feel like it was very well executed. And now we finna go into the summertime. We got Usher we can go see. We anticipating her album dropping in March. Festival season is gonna be upon us. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? We need it. I feel like we needed more of that because what is our music scene really doing right now? It's not it.
I'm only anticipating two things. One, that's WrestleMania 40, and two, Mariah Carey on Ariana Grande dropping a new single at midnight tonight. Yes, yes, and remix. That's all the two things I'm looking forward to. What?
Well, I'm going to the festival in Vegas in May, so I can't wait to see all of that, everything, all of these African American artists in one place, set up like Summerfest, so I can go from stage to stage, stage to stage, and just have fun. I can't wait.
And
You know what I'm saying?
I'll be stripping somewhere.
So you're gonna be
Stripping.
don't do it to yourself.
What?
Don't do it.
What?
If
Hell, we
I if
can't
I
even get
see if I see
our
footage of you on some roller skates with some fire from coming out your mouth, I'm gonna rip
I can't even we
automatically.
can't even get our trip put together because in our group chat we keep trying to get the dates put together and we were like, hey, throw some dates, so we throw some dates out there, nobody say nothing. But then somebody could mention going to go on a weekend, everybody wanna say well when and then want to buy Groupon tickets and shit. But anyway, uh
Why you put them on blast like that?
oh my god, because we be trying to get these trips together and they just won't participate right. Like, good God. Like it was
Oh.
like, oh, it's so expensive. Yes, I spent a lot of money on my last trip, but that's because a lot of stuff happened at the last minute in my control, and I still want it to go. So I somehow made it happen. I'm paying for it now, but I'm somehow made it happen still. I'm not. I'm gonna. One thing I've
I'm glad you
learned is
went.
that I'm not going to continue to not enjoy life because I'm like at the end of the point when
There
it's
you
all
go.
said and done, and I ain't got no more air lungs. I'm I want to be able to look back and say, you know what, I enjoyed my life. I got to travel. I got to see the world, and I got to experience things. I don't want to be one of those people that was on my bed like I worried too much about money that I didn't experience the world.
Listen, money is made to spend. I keep saying that. Money is made to spend. You expect for me to not have any kind of debt. Meanwhile, America is in trillions of dollars a day. Get out of here.
Exactly.
Okay?
Like make it make sense, people.
Okay? That's just
So,
the way of the world.
I believe I think it's only two. Only got two quick videos of the week. I don't know if Tina has her. Did you put something together for your health story?
I didn't. I had a very long and stressful week.
Okay, well
But
then
I
they
do have
said
an
she'll have
idea
something
for
out
next
then.
week. I already
Okay.
got it put together for next week. Yes.
Alrighty. So we have I have two videos for you for the TikTok videos of the week. So here we go.
Elmo asked us one question. It took nothing. Elmo just said, "How is everybody?" And the floodgates opened. As an internet user, I was embarrassed. The way that everybody just poured everything out to Elmo. If you didn't see it, Elmo tweeted, "Hey, just check it in. How is everybody?" And 185 million views. What, 1 million replies? I don't know how many replies. It was absolutely crazy. Everyone just told Elmo everything that was happening in the moment. There's no better indication that we need universal mental health care than everyone responding to Elmo like he was in the room. That's absolutely insane. I can't believe, poor Elmo. Elmo probably smoking a cigarette right now, trying to calm down after the horrific stuff. Because some people were sending in video, like all he said was, "How is everybody?" And then people under him, right underneath, like, "They found me guilty, dog." Like that's insane. This is not real right now. Go seek real help.
I love it. So I seen that and I was cracking up at some of those responses. And I was like, you know what? We as a race, like it was so I didn't see some of the darker comments. Most of the comments I saw were more, laughable. People were trying to, you know what I'm saying, sarcasm, this, that, and the other.
Mhm.
And I absolutely loved it because it kind of pulled, a lot of and highlight it. That's all you have to do is ask. Sometimes that's all you have to do is ask. And a lot of people don't do that no more. How are you doing today? You know,
Mhm.
it's more of a knee-jerk reaction. Hey, how you doing today? When you see somebody walking down the hallway and somebody say good and you know, it's just kind of a knee-jerk reaction.
Mhm.
But then when you get a puppet that was introduced into many of our lives when we were young, it kind of triggered something in people where they wanted to have therapy on the internet. And I was like, wow, you know,
Mhm.
it was, and then the response after, it was like, well, it sounded like Elmo was overwhelmed, like, wow. Thank you all for sharing. Elmo will check in with you again soon or something like that. I was
And then
like,
Elmo left the link to get like to call if you needed
yeah,
like help,
yeah.
like mental health help and stuff like that.
So that was awesome. Like the reach, like the reach of that one tweet. So I'm
That
glad that
that just lets
whoever's behind
you
that page.
that just lets you know that how bad the state of the world is in right now. That a lot of people want to go talk to a therapist or seek out mental health help, but can't afford it. So their option was, you know what, this puppet, who I know is not a real thing, and it's just somebody sitting behind a computer just to keep the account going. This puppet, I'm going to vent all my
Just
issues to this
this
puppet on the internet.
non-judgmental puppet because
Puppet, right?
it's an inanimate object, right?
Right. I'm just gonna vent all of my frustrations and worries to this puppet. That just show how bad some people mental health is and what mindset that they're in. And that should bring awareness that the government needs to do something or be able to, like, the government should be like, hey, you know what, every American citizen can get 20 cents or something. Give people something. Maybe make it part of including some people health insurance where they can go seek housing, because there are some people who have health but going to go see a therapist for a problem is not included with the healthcare plan, and you have to pay out of pocket to go sit down and talk about somebody if you're having thoughts of suicide, if or you just having a hard time in life. At that point, you got to pay to talk to somebody about that, or pay to get some type of counseling, somebody to guide you to help you in the right direction, which is sad.
So I'm just gonna segue on back to that one video you had with they were trying to put religion back in the school, basically, right? And he was touching upon the points like, has this person been formally trained as a counselor? You know, do they possess a degree? Da 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 da. I I mean, when I went to school, I had counselors. It was at least two or three counselors, and they were assigned to people, right? And you can go, you can talk to them when you wanted to, and they did more. You know, they were more of like a liaison to get you the help that you needed, or even if you just needed to talk, right? Mediators, blah blah blah. They did everything, right? So I do feel like, you know, especially a lot in all schools, primarily public schools, you know, instead of putting religion, you don't have to necessarily always speak on religion outright to counsel somebody, right? So I really do think, and I don't know what the curriculum is for somebody to be a teacher, right? But I do really feel like that they should be required to go under some type of counseling training because you are coming in contact with a lot of kids. They got a lot going on at home. They got a lot going on within their personal life. They're trying to figure out life. They got their hormones. They're trying to fit in. They're trying to do this. They're trying to do that. And a lot of kids look up to their teachers, their basketball coaches, da 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 da, you know, all of them. And those people can definitely help make a difference in these kids, you know. And I feel like that would be really a really good help. Now, as far as these grown people, you know, it would be great, like if you, or at least, I mean, like they offer what they call EIP programs if you're at a job, right?
Yeah, my job
EAP,
you
EP.
gonna get 6 sessions free.
So, but most jobs now that I have been at do offer those services. I think you get eight. Hey, I think we get 8. Okay, and I feel like that's great, free of charge. Sorry,
You're
y'all.
not sorry.
I feel like I feel like that's something great, and a lot of people don't understand what that means. So it's like if your job offers these programs, you get a number, right? It's usually during like your human resources can give you a number, and that number connects you to a company that gets you scheduled with the person that you need to see. Whether it be more social work, you know, they help those programs help out with more than just mental health issues. You know what I'm saying? And people need to realize that this is a benefit that you get at your job, and they can get into that. You know, that's one way to kind of help bridge the gap while you're waiting. You know, these extended wait times to get into behavioral health, right? Because we don't have enough behavioral health providers or talk therapists and things like that. So please utilize those programs because they are very helpful, and sometimes somebody needs a little bit of um longer period of time with the services, and sometimes the people can use the 6 services for free and they're good. So I'm sorry I
Sure.
kind of took that over, but
It's all right. With that being said, we can head into final thought. Okay, I'm gonna go first since Tina always fuss about going first. So my final thought is I keep coming across videos and posts of people who have family members who were part of the LGBTQIA elemental P. I don't know. I know some other letters that's added on to there, but that community and of the community, I should say, and they're posting pictures of their loved ones because they are committing suicide, And I just want to tell those people who will listen to this or going to listen to this, or you can share this with a friend that's going through something, so one simple phrase that I want y'all to remember, and that's just to keep fighting. I know, life is hard. Things is hard in the world right now. The price of food is still expensive. Gas is going back up. Rent is still out of control. Um, there was this story about this guy who went to go get a loan for a house. He had $150 to put house. He had $250,000 in a bank. He was trying to get a loan for 400,000, and he still could not get approved for that loan at that bank that he was at. I get it. Times are hard. If you're a kind of way, talk to a friend, your parents, if you don't feel comfortable, find somebody to talk to. I don't care if you go talk to an eggshell to get your feelings out. Go talk to somebody to get your feelings out. And is not the answer. It's not just you that it's affecting. You're affecting your friends, your family members, and everybody else around you who cares about you. Just open your mouth, just say something, just talk to them, and things will get better. And that's my final thought.
Oh, that was excellent. How do I follow that? Oh my God. Okay. So my final thought was going to be something a lot more derogatory. Um, so please don't be stupid or dumb. Okay. Um, do your research, people. If you are going to be insistent upon being part of this country, running this country, please do it for the benefit of all people. Don't just sit around, twiddle your fingers, use the taxpayers' money for your salary and come up with the stupidest ideas that benefits absolutely nobody because you got to put forth some type of bill because that's in your job description. Okay. Don't be stupid or dumb. Do your research, you know, and I don't know. I guess that's my final thought.
Merry
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah. You
If
got me
I'm
on
not
that one.
mistaken, it's
Oh my God.
313 days until Christmas.
Oh my God.
Oh
Oh
goodness.
my God.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Same Cast, Different Day podcast. Make sure you follow us on our social media pages. Those will be listed in the comments below. And we will see you all on the next episode of Same Cast, Different Day podcast.